To love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. A quintessential Wilde quote that humorously highlights the importance of self-love. No man is rich enough to buy back his past. Sooner or later, we have all to pay for what we do. A reminder of accountability and the consequences of one's actions. It is always worthwhile asking a question, though it is not always worthwhile answering one. All sins, except a sin against itself, love should forgive. Women are not meant to judge us, but to forgive us when we need forgiveness. A commentary on traditional gender roles and expectations in relationships. One can survive everything nowadays except death, and live down anything except a good reputation. A witty take on reputation and the superficial judgments of society. Fashion is what one wears oneself. What is unfashionable is what other people wear. A humorous jab at the subjective nature of fashion and societal trends. There is nothing in the world like the devotion of a married woman. It's a thing no married man knows anything about. A witty and ironic observation on marriage, hinting at the gap between idealized love and reality. All women become like their mothers. That is their tragedy. No man does. That's his. A humorous yet thought-provoking commentary on the inevitable influence of family, particularly mothers, in shaping lives. When the gods wish to punish us, they answer our prayers. Wilde's philosophical insight into the dangers of getting exactly what we wish for, a reflection on unintended consequences. A man's life is of more value than a woman's. It has larger issues, wider scope, greater ambitions. This line, spoken by Lord Goring, reflects the prevailing sexist attitudes of the time, which Wilde critiques through irony and satire. Pity is a most unpleasant emotion. It is always to be avoided if possible. A critical take on pity, suggesting that it can be more about the giver's discomfort than the receiver's benefit. Youth is the time for success. I have passed the age of success. You have come in sight of it. A bittersweet reflection on the fleeting nature of youth and opportunity. One's past is what one is. It is the only way by which people should be judged. A significant statement about the weight of the past in defining character, contrasting the idea of personal growth and redemption. Men can be analyzed, women merely adored. A satirical comment on gender roles and the oversimplification of women's personalities in society. I always pass on good advice. It is the only thing to do with it. It is never of any use to oneself. A humorous observation on how people tend to give advice they rarely follow. To conceal a fault by a lie is to substitute the guilt of falsehood for that of the fault. A moralistic reflection on honesty, responsibility, and the consequences of deceit. Ambition is the last refuge of the failure. A paradoxical and thought-provoking comment on how some people cling to ambition when all else fails, questioning the true nature of success. Questions are never indiscreet. Answers sometimes are. A witty observation on how curiosity itself is harmless, but the truth that responses reveal can often be uncomfortable or revealing. The strength of women comes from the fact that psychology cannot explain us. Men can be analyzed, women merely adored. Wilde's ironic take on the complexity of women and the superficiality with which they are often understood by society. Nobody is incapable of doing a foolish thing. Nobody is incapable of doing a wrong thing. This line speaks to human fallibility, emphasizing that everyone, regardless of status, is prone to error. It is always the unreadable that occurs. A reflection on the unpredictability of life, where the most unexpected outcomes often unfold.